All right, let's start. Hi everyone, a very good afternoon to each one of you who's watching me live right now. We all have been waiting to explore one of the fantastic courses from one of the most prestigious B schools, none other than TAPMI Management Institute, commonly abbreviated as TAPMI, and located down south in Bangalore. I, Sukriti Gagrani, alumna IIM Indore, working in capacity of growth specialist at Top Rankers, welcome all of you, and especially the main dignitary from the institute, Aditya Mohan Jadhav, sir, Associate Dean at TAPMI. Again, come from a humongous, I would say, a lot of experience in the field of teaching. I've even seen I was seeing your bio in the website. Lots and lots of experience, and I really am excited to know everything about the course, just like the students must be excited. So, sir, I welcome you here.
Thanks, Sukruti. Thanks for a fantastic introduction. It's very generous of you and Top Rankers to have me there, SuperGrads to have me there. Thank you very much.
We are more than happy to have this collaboration. Yeah. Sir, since this course is just launching and we have been, it's there on the news, it's there on the website, lots and lots of other people are also covering it. We've been reading about it. But TAPMI has always been a renowned institution, a renowned B school when it comes to its PG course, that is MBA. So we were really having these thoughts that what came in your mind that we should start a UG program for the students?
Thank you for this question, Sukruti, because this is one of the questions many people have asked. The reason this question many people have asked is because if you really look at the BBA programs across this country, these are generally introduced by the commerce department, right? Commerce and management department of universities, and very rarely has a B school decided to join on the this front, right, as an undergrad program. So keeping this in mind, I would like to explain what is our thought process behind it. So we, like you said, are almost a 40-year-old B school. We were started in 1980s as a management training institute, converted into a B school in 1984 after AICT was established. And we have been, we had a fantastic run for the last 40 years. We are in the top 20 B schools of this country. We receive anywhere around 10,000 applications every year for our MBA program. And it is one of the sought after MBA programs, especially for people with 2 to 3 years of work experience in this country, right? We have a really strong placement cell supported by the students, but really manned by some industry specialists who have been directors in companies before, and they understand what's happening in the industry. And you know, that has been a really fantastic run for us. So, but one of the key things that we always observed whenever an interview used to happen was that when we conducted MBA entrance interviews, we found that the engineers took the cake. Okay, always we found that engineers took the cake. I'm myself an engineer, right? But I found many of engineers, they would complete their engineering, work for 2, 3, 4 years, get that experience, and then turn up to the MBA interview and basically got selected because of their experience, because of the corporate profile or whatever you can say. Now, let's come back to the students who were doing BCom or BBA, right? Basically from social sciences, we found the situation was quite different. First thing what we found is very few students who were applying from this BA, BCom, BSc background, BBA background had any work experience. Most of them were freshers. Many of them were actually not even completed their final year of graduation and had started applying for an MBA program. Okay. Second thing is we could see a sense of desperation amongst these students, extreme desperation amongst the students, because all of them, sorry to say, but this is really the sad thing in this country, all of them believed that they will never have a career unless they do an MBA. Oh. Okay, this is a regular feature, right? You don't find that in an engineer. An engineer says, okay, so I'm not getting the school of my choice. He would say, okay, I'll come next year. Right? Or he would say, if you would offer him, he's not getting into the core PGDM program of TAPMI, and in case he gets offered something else, he would say, no, sir, I'm working. I will work for 1 more year. I'll prepare better. I'll come next year. right? But a BBA student or a BCom student, unfortunately, and BA student and all who wants to do an MBA just can say, oh, if I wait also 1 year, things are not going to change. So if they're not getting what they want, they are ready to compromise and go one step lower and just join an MBA because they believe without an MBA, they will not have a career.
Oh,
And this is wrong. This is fundamentally wrong. If you are not sure that you have learned anything in your undergrad 3 to 4 years of education, right? What change do you expect to happen in the 18 months that you are in a B school, right? B school is not a magic wand to change something into another thing, right? It takes a lot of efforts, right? That's where we always thought a good undergrad management program is a necessity of this country. Okay. And we are not talking that it should be TAPMI. I am telling you, we have been requesting undergrad schools, right? In the last 5, 7, 8 years, when I was in charge of admissions and other places, I actually requested many undergrad schools to relook at their undergrad programs to solve this problem. Right, we found very few takers. There are schools which are really coming out with a fantastic, like Ashoka and others, fantastic programs. I love it. Ashoka is something I really love as a program, right? Or what Aziz Premji University is doing is really fantastic, right? But there are very few which you can count on a hand. Now, so when national education policy came into picture and they allowed a 4-year program, that is when we said, now this is the right time to introduce an undergrad program. One of the most important things is you go internationally. Internationally, a student completes his graduation. Any graduation is 4 years. There is no 3 years graduation. Any guy completes a 4 years graduation, he will work for at least 7 to 8 years. And when he has really understood his business and knows really well what exactly he wants to achieve, is when he joins an MBA program, benefits out of it, and then we can see that edge, it's an edge above everyone else, right? But in India, what has happened is majority of students joining MBA programs are freshers, especially from BA, BCom, BSc, BBA background, BBM background. And then, so when they, even after MBA join a company, okay, they are management trainees. They are management trainees for 2 years, and then they are starting their career as an manager. Okay. So this situation, so what we want to provide, and we are very clear, is we have designed and we have decided to introduce a program whose end goal is career of a student. We are very clear.
That's really nice, because I was listening to you carefully and I realized one thought that you spoke about internationally, how there is a difference between what we are doing and what they are doing. That's fantastic, because that's how we can actually realize that why the program is 4 years. Because my next question was this, that the degree I know is BBA Honours, but I really want to know why a 4-year program. So I think our students have already got an answer, but would you like to add any point other than that?
So there was another thought process when we decided to have a 4-year program. So basically, this program also has an exit option as per the National Education Policy for 3rd year. So even at the end of 3 years, we would be very candid to say that even, let's say, so the program structure, I will take you in a minute so that you'll understand. The first year is foundations. And when we said foundations, we are not talking of foundations of management. We are talking of foundations of the society. So there are courses in liberal arts, there are courses in science, there are courses in design, there are courses, basic courses of management are only 2. One is accounts, other is economics. We don't want to even teach the third course. We are basic program course of how a business runs, and this is mostly liberal arts. So the whole idea is in the first year, student understands what a society is, right? But there is a strong component of ethics in the first year. Even before we jump, we want to be very clear that what student understands what is an ethics. At the end of first year, there is a social internship. A student will be working with an NGO or an institution, and we will be placing them. Student doesn't have to search for it into an NGO or someone for 6 months. And our clear-cut instruction to the NGO is that these students should go to the last mile, the last point where delivery is happening from the NGO, and understand the problems at the root. And then in the second year, we are taking them through the management courses, strong foundations of management courses. Third year is electives. And we have 9 areas of electives, including entrepreneurship. And at the end of third year, if a student says, sir, I would like to now try my luck out, I don't want to continue to the honors year, he graduates with a BBA degree. And in the final semester, we will give them placements, right? There will be very clear. Now let's assume someone says, what happens in the honors year then if a student is getting placed in third year, right? The honors year is basically a track structure. So what we have done is we have created 4 key tracks. The first track is basically a research track. So let's assume there are students who say, sir, I want to make a career in research. I want to make a really good career in research. He joins a research track. He takes some courses in research, does a research work, a strong research work under guidance of an TAPMI faculty and an international faculty. The idea is by the end of the research work, he should have a publishable paper. We are not just talking of submitting a thesis. We are talking of publishable paper or dissertation. A publishable paper will help him publish it in a proper academic journal, and then will help him design his portfolio to apply for PhD abroad. That is our commitment to it, right? The second track is an academic learning, advanced electives track. So the student decides one stream which he has taken in. So in year 3, he can do majors and minors in 2 streams, but in year 4, he takes one of those and he only studies that. The courses there will be at par with an MBA level course, right? So many students ask us, sir, can we join the MBA program of TAPMI after that? But I would suggest you would have actually learned whatever you would have learned from an MBA program of TAPMI in the honors year. Okay, so there won't be any real addition there. And at the end of it, we are actually expecting these guys to be placed, right, at par with MBA students from any other school. That is whole idea of the honors year. Third track is family business, because we see a lot of people who would like to go back to their family business. We would actually help them come out with a growth plan for their family business in the 4th year. It will be more like a consulting to the guy. He can choose the courses that he thinks would really help him grow the family business. He completes his and goes back with the plan on how to grow the family business. So that is it. The 4th track is entrepreneurship, and that is going to be our most important track. So as you know, Manipal Group is one of the biggest philanthropic groups, as well as one of the biggest, what you can say, angel investors in this country, right? Okay. Dr. Ranjan Pai does a lot of investments. He has a fantastic vision for this school. So the reason we set it up in Bangalore instead of Manipal is the same. So in Manipal itself, in Manipal University, Bangalore, where our school is also located, there is also going to come up an entrepreneurship school, which is basically meant for budding entrepreneurs, not those who are studying, but actually who have started companies and are then looking for growth prospects, how to manage. This is basically a training institute for them. This training institute is going to partner with our students, and let's assume we have only 5 students. These 5 students will be handheld to actually complete an entrepreneurship journey, come with a plan, and we are not stopping there. Though at the end of the plan, the guy basically graduates at the end of 4th year. We will further help him because there is going to be a bio incubator center as well. So after completing the 4th year, the same team can actually shift into this incubation center, and our commitment means our support will be available till he gets his first round of funding. So the 4th year is planned to ensure that the career prospects of the students are really definite. And then they will have to choose either research or they want to go back to family business, because family business is the fulcrum of India's growth, and we may ignore it or not, but it's one of the best ways of growing, right? You can be an entrepreneur in your family business as well. You don't have to do something from scratch every time. Very true. Okay? And or they can go into the corporates with a really good career progress, and then they can go for an entrepreneurship. So that's how the 4th year is designed. So it's not like, okay, I'm studying some courses here, I'll study some more courses in the 4th year and go. No, that's not what is the objective of the 4th year.
I think that's the beauty of the entire course, what I understand, because the way the tracks are designed in the fourth year, probably they are absolutely at par with what is going on in the current scenario. What I understand, sir, students are so exposed that they want to know everything before they choose a course. Because
Yes.
now the time is when they're not choosing a career. They know that right now is the time to choose a course, not the time to choose the career. So the beauty is that the course is offering them a route or a roadmap to the career that they probably want to go in their near future.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
the objective of the course.
correct. So I see a lot of students asking a couple of questions. So hi Shaurya, I see that will there be an exit allowed after 3 years? I think that has already been answered. That yes, there will be an exit after 3 years. Only that you'll have a BBA degree instead of a BBA honors degree. All right. So we will come to IPMAT and other scores as well. Students, just give us some time. Hold your horses. Stay till the end with us because you are definitely going to get a lot of information on an institution which is absolutely amazing and should be there on your list if you are actually aiming to do something in the field of management. So, sir, since I know that we have so many students listening us live right now, I'm sure they must be thinking that this is the first year. How about the residential provisions? What about the campus? Is it all ready to welcome the first batch of students already?
Yes. So the campus is in Yelahanka.
Okay.
It is basically the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, that is generally well known as Manipal University. The campus is of Manipal University. Our building is almost ready. It will be, the program starts on 1st September. The whole building and everything will be ready by 15th of July. Anyone who wants to come and visit us can certainly come and visit us, and we will take them around. Hostels are available to all those who want. It's not a compulsory residential school, but anyone who wants it, there are hostels available in the campus itself. So those Manipal hostels are ready, which are in the campus, and the student can decide to take up the hostel facility. So hostel, food, all those things will be ready and completely available to the student before they join. So it will be
I
ready.
think the another point which I just realized is that it is not a compulsorily residential course. That's the
No, it
beauty
is
of the
not.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the students are really apprehensive about, again, the same point in extension of awareness that they don't really want to stay in the hostel. And that is where they sometimes consider this as a more important criteria.
No,
Because when we get,
it's your choice, because see, for example, I have seen many times a trend where one of the parents or both the parents actually shift for their children's education, right? And that's possible. There is nothing
correct,
wrong in it. So there is no question of you compulsorily staying in the hostel. But if you want a hostel, good
we have the
hostel facilities are
facility.
available.
Perfect. So, as I can see, there's a lot of excitement related to what kind of examinations. And yeah, the question is Shaurya has a question. And is there any alternative way of admission apart from IPM aptitude test? So, before Sir answers this question, students, I really want all of you to do visit the website of TAPMI because they have a lot of things explained pretty well. Of course, I'm more than happy to see that you are hearing us live here. But yes, do an extensive research apart from hearing us live here. So the question is that, okay, so the entrance exam, most of us know, as I can see, that IPM aptitude test is being accepted.
Okay.
But are there
So
other examinations as
yeah.
well?
So actually, there are 6 exams that are that we
Kids,
accept.
make a note. This is the time you need to pick up your pen and make a note. What all exams scores will be accepted by TAPMI if you are aiming for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are ready to accept, guys. So basically what we are, see, a lot of people say, why are we sticking up to IPMAT and others? But first and foremost, I would like to clarify, we will take your IPMAT Indore, IPMAT Ranchi, IPMAT Rohtak, or JIPMAT, or JEE, or SAT score. Okay, these are the 6 scores that we are looking at. And there is a reason why we are looking at these 6 scores. First and foremost, an application to the score or exam indicates your interest in the program. Okay, not our program, but interest in a management career. Okay, and that's the first thing. But we are still ready to take JEE scores, right? The NEET scores basically are not allowed to be used for other exams. So that is out of question. Second thing, I would like to clarify to all of you that we will be looking at these scores only as a cutoff, right? and the cutoff will be declared only, will not, may or may not be decided, sorry, not declared, will be decided only when the exams are over and we discuss with the these admissions department of these various schools to understand how their exams have happened. Okay, there is no a priori cutoff at all. So I would invite everyone to apply. Okay, and that is going to be base. So anyone satisfying that cutoff basically becomes eligible for the program. The selection process is extremely simple. Actually, we had our first round of admission interviews a few days back. Understand, our intention of admissions interview is also quite different, right? We are interested to understand you, not evaluate you in the admissions interview. We are not evaluating you. There is a 90-second micro presentation just to understand whether you can think on the feet. That's the only objective of it. And there is an interview, and you can check out with few of those who have already given the interviews if you have a way to do that. It's more about understanding your vision for yourself, and we actually take efforts to explain you if you have any doubts, because we understand your 12th standard this year, the exams and everything has been very hectic. You know, your exams are going parallelly with your entrance exams. I have come across students who are giving law entrance exams, they are giving engineering entrance exam, they are giving IPMAT. It means that's terrible. That's really terrible that you have to undergo such efforts. But don't stress out that, okay, there is one more layer of it. It's more for us to understand each other and nothing else.
The problem is that whenever the word interview comes into the picture, there's a phobia, there's an aversion that I don't know what is going to be asked. And they normally think
this
is important.
Okay, I will clarify that also, Sukruti, because now that you have given me an opportunity to do that. First and foremost, I would like to clarify, we do not ask general knowledge questions.
That's something, again, students make a note. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth that
we are interested to understand the candidate. Okay, what is his own vision for himself, right? Why is he looking for a program? What does he think will happen in a program? Okay, and we take efforts to clarify if the student is not clear on something, and that's the whole agenda of this interview.
That's nice, because now I see that students, even in previous interviews, I have told students, when we have done it with multiple institutions, that please see, everybody is there to tell you that they are not there to penalize you. They're not there to, make a scrutiny out of what you have done so far, what is your general knowledge and so on and so forth. That is not going to be asked. Sir himself is telling you, so this is important. And see, another reason for you to think of TAPMI as one of the aspiring institutions, because the aversion of interviews, the aversion of giving exams, all is already cleared. It's like IPM Aptitude Test you will be giving on 2nd and 3rd of July. And an interview is going to be super easy. By super easy, I mean at least not general knowledge is going to be tested. More about yourself will be asked. So please make a note of all these things. This is really important, because probably such insightful information you won't get anywhere. You won't get it even on the website for that matter. I would like to make this point in particular.
Thanks, Sukruti. I would just like to
please add.
Inform the students. Understand, this is also not something new, right? The SOP process that is utilized by international B schools for their undergrad program is basically the same thing, right? There you have to submit an SOP, and based on your SOP you get selected. But remember, SOP is a written document. Here we are only replacing the SOP with an face-to-face interview to understand.
So I think, sir, I am a little doubtful that students might not be aware what is an SOP. So please, students, I think it's a statement of, sorry, please go ahead. Yeah,
so SOP is statement of purpose. So if you apply to any international university for admissions, whether it's undergrad or postgrad, you have to actually submit a statement of purpose on why exactly are you interested in the program and why exactly should you be admitted to the program. Right? And it plays a very important role in deciding whether a student gets in or not. We are basically saying you need not put anything in writing, face to face through a series of discussions. We are also trying to test the same thing. Nothing else.
Perfect. So students, now you know, because I know a couple of you definitely must be in grade 10th or 11th. You might not be very familiar with the term SOP. So I just thought that, okay, let me take that point into consideration, that you might not be aware what is an SOP. So normally in other institutions, I have been giving a lot of exams, so I know that we have to submit a 500 words SOP, which is written. Here, sir himself is telling that it's going to be like an interview thing. So you have to understand that it's all about yourself and not to check on your GK, check on your 12th ka knowledge or 11th ka knowledge. Why did you take a drop? And all those kind of questions, I'm sure not going to trouble you as such. All right. So I see, so that there is a lot of exposure. Students are constantly on their WhatsApp. Of course, the WhatsApp university is everywhere. They want to grab all the information from there. But I really want to know, amongst all these exposure, they do search about what is the curriculum if they're choosing a particular course. So if I talk about the particular course we are talking here, what is the exact course curriculum for the next 4 years?
See, it's a rigorous program. I
All
should
right.
not hide it. I will tell you up front, it's a rigorous program. If you really take it like a day in a school, there are two components that will run parallelly throughout the 4 years, or at least the first 3 years. First is the academic component. So there will be academic classes and a student development program. So what we have done is, with the help of our alumni, with industry partners, and with our leadership assessment and development center that exists in TAPMI, we have designed a 3-year student development program every day. Okay, and the student development program involves all your extracurricular activities. It involves counseling, it involves developmental activities, it involves industry engagement, interactions, a lot of these things. So it has been structured, it is not 100. So what should be the end result of each of these components at every semester, academically as well as in the student development program, and they run hand in hand, is what has been designed. And so a student, the classes might be anywhere between from 8:30 to 3:30. That means effectively the whole day is gone, right? We have courses around, we have around 9 courses, 9 to 10 courses in a semester, out of which 6 to 7 courses are those which are academically oriented, where there will be exams at the end of the semester, and 2 to 3 courses would be practice based. So we will be setting up 4 labs: a creativity lab, an operations lab, a finance lab, and an analytics lab. And these labs will be extensively used for student learning. So lab-based courses will be 2 or 3 lab-based courses, industry courses will be there. And from the 2nd semester to the 5th semester, every student, every semester will be engaged with a company for a live project. So other than the internships that they will do, throughout the semester, each student will at least do 1 live project. The whole idea is that they understand what are the expectations from the industry, and they do not have, means they really are suited for what the industry wants, and that will help them also make a good career choice. That's the whole idea of it. So we'll allow students to choose the live project based on their choice, and over time that will help them evolve what they should be their career path and all. So it is going to take a lot of time. I can tell you it is going to effectively take your whole time of the day, and hence it's a rigorous program. That's one thing I would like to say.
Sir, in the previous question, when you mentioned about micro presentation, there's a lot of buzz on the chat box, and students are asking, sir, what? So there is some student, probably he has already given a round of interview, as I can see in the chat box, but they are asking that what are the kind of topics that you give when it comes to micro presentation? If you can give an idea on the same.
Okay, you don't even need an idea. You can visit TAPMI website. We have listed all the topics on our website. You can go through the website and get the list of the topics. No topic will be outside that list.
Perfect.
Yeah, they are already available on our website. You can just go through it. And there are very interesting topics like, right, life is a quadratic equation. That's my favorite topic, though I have not asked it. But that's an interesting topic for you to think on. Life is a quadratic equation. Footballers are not good dancers. That's another topic you can think of. So understand, we are just those topics are basically, if you decide also you're not going to make a detailed preparation, understand it's 90 seconds. What we are just asking you to think. So you get around 2 minutes to prepare your thoughts and 90 seconds to say it out or share it. Basically, we are looking at your ability to think on the spot.
Perfect. So students, you don't have to worry about what topics sir has
They
mentioned
can
there on
go
the
to the
website.
website and check it
That's
out. Yeah.
that's fantastic. So kids, if you really, really want your questions to be answered, you need to stay with us till the end, because as I promised that the Q&A is going to be at the end. I'm going to allow you to ask whatever you want, any which ways you're doing it, but I'm going to pick it up a little later when we proceed towards the session. So we were talking about, in between we had discussed about some placement opportunities, since the questions are there in the chat box, that so we have two ways of placements, what I understand, because the same way it has been put through. One that we get after 3 years, that is BBA, and another round we get after 4 years, that is BBA honors. Correct. So if
Yeah.
kids are really interested at what are the kind of placement opportunities, are they going to be the same that are provided to your MBA as MBA students, or what are the type of companies that we can expect by the end of the first batch violet
Okay.
graduates?
So like first and foremost, understand TAPMI is one school. We are offering both BBA and MBA, right? We have our admissions are run together. Same way, we have our corporate engagement cell, which handles the placements for the MBA program. We have 300 plus partners, and these are the same partners that will be extensively engaging for our undergrad program as well. So because the team is same, we are just going to milch it out. Another thing is we have around 6,000 plus alumni who are members of the TAPMI Alumni Society. We have 6,000 plus alumni. Now, two things is what we are going to do. If you really ask me, Sukruti, first is we are going to set up something called as an alumni mentorship program, right?
Right.
Each student of the BBA program will be attached to an alumnus of TAPMI as an mentee, right? So the alumnus of TAPMI will be mentor, and it is one-to-one. So it's not like one alumnus will have 10 students, right? Each one will have only one student, right? And this guy will be your mentor for the next 1 or 2 years, okay? And the idea is not to take his help for placements, okay? Don't get confused. For that, we have our corporate engagement team, and they are doing a fantastic job for MBA. They will do the same job for BBA, I'm sure about it. The whole idea is this guy will help the student be grounded, okay? Not make really unmanageable, not create in himself unmanageable expectations. At the same time, help him traverse the whole corporate process easily. Okay, correct. That's the whole objective of it. So with 6,000 plus alumni and 300 plus industry partners, we will have a very strong placements. But if you really ask me, Sukruti, I don't believe in placements. I can upfront tell you. I think the best outcome of an engagement from a student's point of view would be where at the end of his internship, at the end of second year or third year, based on which program they are going, if I am able to see that each and every student of mine gets a PPO, right? That is when I will believe that the program has achieved. Because see, if someone is going to, an internship allows a student to see what happens in the company for almost 2 months. The company evaluates you for almost 2 months. And the relationship that is created, if it is cemented through a job opportunity, the relationship is much stronger. The student stays back in that company for a much longer
duration.
And our objective, if you really ask me, is that's why we have a lot of focus on live projects and a series of internships. So every semester there is an internship. Every year there is an internship.
I think giving a hands-on experience is, better than any other kind of experience that we can give to an undergraduate student, because coming right out of grade 12 and joining a program there, any which way is a little jittery over how the course is going to be, what all things we need to do, because grade 12 is pretty young age as compared to the students who come after for MBA, I would say.
Yeah.
All right. So, since you talked about internships, I just had a thought that how about the international collaborations? What kind of international collaborations do we have? Because students often are extremely excited that before they enter the school, they really want to know that will we be allowed to travel abroad? Will we be allowed to have any kind of international exposure? So, will this program offer any kind of such offer to the students?
Certainly. So, there are two components of international collaboration that we have. First component is through industry student exchange, or rather I would say a dual. We are trying to design a dual degree structure. If that doesn't happen, even a student exchange will always be there. So Manipal Academy of Higher Education, our parent university Mahe, has around 200 plus industry university partnerships, right? All
Correct.
across the globe. And all those university partnerships are available to us to explore, right? So what we are already doing is we are already in discussion with Southampton University, and we are sure it will fructify, and some other universities where we are trying to see if a student for his honors year can actually travel abroad, spend a year there, and end with a dual degree. That means he gets an BBA honors degree from us. He also gets a bachelor's or a master's degree from that parent university.
Oh, fantastic.
And this should lead to, because after all, the student is spending full 1 year or 2 years at a parent university in the foreign university, that's a lot of expenses, should result into him getting an opportunity for PR TR or
Right.
PR at the foreign university, means at the
True.
location. So we are currently in discussion with Southampton University, which is in London, which is in UK, and hopefully that will turn it out. But we have right now shortlisted 7 universities whom we will be continuously pursuing. There are 200 available to us. Currently, we are looking at 7 with whom we can have this strong relationships. So the whole idea is our students, based on their undergrad BBA scores, should be allowed to go to the foreign university directly for a master's. So visa requirements have to be satisfied, right? They have nothing to do with university. There are national requirements. But if they satisfy the visa requirements, can go there, and we would also negotiate for a scholarship for the student.
Correct. So I think having
that
that.
is that is the first
Okay.
international
Okay.
collaboration. Second international collaboration is one where we will be taking all students of ours for a foreign induction or rather an international immersion program in the 4th semester, either to Dubai or Malaysia. We are discussing the location and all. Preferably we will like to have it in Dubai, because Dubai is right now an international knowledge hub. It is an international supply chain hub, right?
Correct.
Dubai is where most of the companies are located, and we have a large alumni alumni group in Dubai. There are a large number of TAPMI alumni, and they generally help. So we just want to we'll take every student to this look, unless the student doesn't have a passport or a visa. You can't do anything if he doesn't have a passport. But otherwise, every student will go there, and 1 week we will take them through various companies. We'll help them visit all types of international companies, understand how international companies think of the same thing, and that is going to happen at the end of in semester 4, January or February of semester 4, so that you can think of it as 2024 Jan or Feb.
Perfect. I think the answer to international exposure was so good, because I personally feel that students often ask us this, because whenever they come to us and get counseled, they do ask this question that, okay, tell us more on what kind of opportunities will we get internationally. And at times we do know about the institution, but probably not this well the way you are saying it. Probably hearing it from your own self, that's what is more important. And students will rely more on that thing, I'm sure. So, sir, students are constantly asking about one thing: what is the seat intake? What is the number of seats that TAPMI has to offer in this particular program?
120 seats.
120. So, students, you've got I don't think that it's something that you cannot achieve. It's all about the aspiration. If your aspiration is really high to be in Bangalore, be in such a fantastic institution, a fantastic B school, I would say, then yes, that is what you need right now, having a high aspiration. And yes, one question which was there on the list for a very long time, that some students have already given the interview. So how about, so when will they be called for the, I mean, when will the list be mailed to them if they are shortlisted or not?
Within a week. So what
Within
we
a
are doing,
week.
see, we are just completing one part of the process beforehand, because we intend to start the program on 1st September without fail. Right? Whatever happens, we want to start the program 1st September, because this is purely based on all the program design that has been done, keeping their convocation and joining the companies in mind 4 years down the line. And we want to ensure that their 4th year is completed by the March of 2026, right? And keeping that in mind, so our 1st September Deadline for commencing of the program is non-negotiable. Now, what has happened when we started, we were really looking forward to having their IPMAT scores first, means all their entrance exam scores first, and then going for and 12th standard scores first, and then conducting an interview. Then it occurred to us that, okay, with the given way of structure this year, the 12th standard exams are just meandering around, for, I think, Maharashtra board, the results are out. For CBSE or ICC, I forgot which one. The exams are still continuing. Means I'm not. So we just thought we are completing the first phase right now. We are completing their interview process and all, and we will share. So in this stage, there is no rejection. I would like to tell everyone what we are going to do is we will create a wait list and a short list, and their offers will be finally confirmed only when when we get both the 12th standard scores and IPMAT scores.
Perfect. Because I think a lot of students were asking a similar question. So I'm not going to pick up each and every, because I see that very similar questions are being asked, that how about if we have not given the 12th ka result? How about if the IPMAT scores are not submitted? So now you know the scenario exactly, that how is going to materialize. All right. So I don't know, I find the question very interesting, because I'm always keen, and even the students are keen on knowing that if any institution starts a particular program, and knowing the fact that the program is already being run by a couple of already renowned institutions, like I don't want to name any because I'm not creating any starking comparison, but just to understand that what makes TAPMI stand out when it comes to its BBA program versus any other good university offering a similar one.
Yeah, certainly. I would never say that any program is bad, right? Education is good, right? I've entered an education sector believing education is the necessity of life, and that has been proven by various stalwarts across the world. And education can bring in a change that nothing else can, right? And that's why we have entered the education sector. So every program is good, Sukriti. I would never denigrate any other program of in this country. Each one has its own flavor. Okay, no one can say that, okay, you should not do an undergrad in St. Stephen's. It has its own flavor. It is fantastic school, right? You are not going to. TIS is fantastic. It means there are schools which are really good, and every school is serving a purpose, and it has to. Right? Like I told you again, right? When we started this program, I would rather actually put it up in a different manner. When we started this program, we created something as a journey of a BBA honors. But this journey is not during these 4 years. We first discussed and we deliberated on if someone really does a fantastic BBA honors, okay, what happens to him? And we charted his journey for almost 10 years. And if you really ask me, this is the ideal journey I would look for, is the guy joins a company, but he is really good. Okay. He may not join at a fantastic salary or not, because undergrad in India, still sometimes people think of it not well. That's why we are really looking for good internships. But he joins a company and he has the 12 competencies that we have identified. These 12 competencies will ensure a very fast track growth for him over the next 4 years. In this 4 years, we expect him to automatically be the person of choice for important projects, interesting projects. He becomes part of these projects. Over time, these projects basically push him to the center of the company. Over the 5 years, 4 or 5 years after his BBA, he is actually considered for a position which is equivalent to an head of department or a responsibility position. Now, responsibility position in this country are generally given to MBAs with 2 to 3 years of experience. We are saying in 5 years, this guy should be able to achieve the same thing. He did not worry about in between again going back and doing an MBA. We are not against an MBA. After all, we run a PE school. We should, right? But we believe this, right? Then he doesn't stop there. He does really well in this, okay? And over the next 5 years, his contribution to the company is recognized. And the best way of recognizing this contribution, according to us, would be where the company itself is ready to sponsor the candidate to pursue a management degree internationally or wherever, whichever degree, but executive education, management, whatever you can say, but that somewhere at 28, 30 is actually considered by the management as someone that they would never like to lose, and hence the management spends on him. It's not the other way around, right? We are saying here the company is ready to spend on him just to nurture this guy and have him on the board. So that is the journey we designed first. When we designed this journey, then we came to the next stage where we said, okay, this is not an easy thing to achieve, but is it not? It's not impossible to achieve, Sukriti, because thousands of engineers have achieved it. Please understand that. Okay. IITs have proved this is possible, right? Good IITians rarely come to do an MBA within 1 or 2 years. They actually do a fantastic career, right? They go to Google, Microsoft, they do fantastic jobs. Many of them started their own companies that are growing, right? Even how many of the IIMs run to do an executive education from Harvard? They don't do it, right?
Correct.
This is what we are basically saying. So we identified 12 competencies which will help him achieve this journey. And based on these 12 competencies, the program has been designed.
So when you say these 12 competencies, are these the kind of skill set that is developed across the 4 years that a student needs?
Yes.
All right. So, sir, I would like to know a couple of them maybe, because that was actually my next question, that what are the kind of skills that you see in a particular student at the end of 4 years?
Okay, so I can list out all the 12 for you.
Oh, thank you.
Right? Because, you know, they are the fulcrum of this program.
All right.
So we have critical thinking is the first one, decision making under uncertainty, ability to work in teams, analytical ability, communication, multitasking, creativity, leadership, integrative thinking, ability to integrate, strong technical foundations, means strong understanding of concepts, technological proficiency. Today, technology is the fulcrum of any growth, right? And we are not expecting a student to go ahead and say, okay, let me design this product, let me design this technology. That is fantastic if he is able to do that. But today, the number of technologies available is so huge. Which technology can be harnessed to maximize potential of growth for a company is something that we want to develop in this. That's the skill set that we are looking at. And then the last skill set that we really think is beauty is ethics and moral imagination.
That's very important.
So something, moral imagination is an interesting concept. I'm not sure many students would know it, but they actually practice it. Okay. So let's assume you know you have a friend whose parents are suffering from COVID. Okay. And you have an exam next day. You know he has been in isolation. There has been no support to his family. He's coming for the exam. The exam is important. He's sitting beside you and he asks for your help. Now, do you help him or not? So,
I think that
under these conditions is called moral imagination.
All right.
And this is what we want to do, right? So what lines can you cross, what you cannot is moral.
Correct.
So
that's
these
fantastic.
are the 12 skill sets we are looking at.
Sir, I think the last one is really interesting because probably out of so many interviews that we have conducted so far on the Top Rankers platform, I believe the last one has been incorporated in some or the other way, but with so much precision, I think I'm hearing it for the first time. I won't lie. So I have heard it amongst so many institutions that they do talk about ethics, they do talk about moral values, but when you are quoting it like a particular skill set in the student, I think that will create altogether a different impact when a student graduates from TAPMI.
Thanks a lot, Sukriti.
All right. So I am wrapping up with one question, student. But before that, as I promised that I'm going to pick up each and every question that you've put me in the chat box, but please make sure that you do it right away because we are here again for another 10, 12 more minutes. And I want you all to put up all your doubts because nobody can solve your doubts better than what sir is doing right now, students, because probably even if you come to us, maybe we might give you an information, but that will still be secondhand. To be very honest to all of you, I don't want to fabricate or script anything that I'm saying it in front and with utmost clarity. Whatever you have in your mind, jo bhi doubts hai, please chat box mein dal do, related to the institute, related to the curriculum, although we have discussed, but still if you want us to reiterate any of the things that we have discussed so far, we will be doing it for you. So So although you talked about the rigorousness of the program, that it is going to be pretty rigorous, I really want to know how the life a single day, like what time will the student get up, and by the end he goes to bed. What is the life that he'll enjoy in the camp on the campus?
Oh, there. See, we are not interested in pure academics, right?
All right.
So we are very clear that academic classes for a student, though we expect the student to be in campus almost throughout the day, right? The academic time that a student will spend in classes learning is maximum to is around 4 hours a day. That's what we are looking at, right? In some cases, the based on the faculty, especially if he's from the industry background, it might go up to 5 or 6 hours, but that is not going to be a regular feature. It's going to be a rare feature. Now, what are we then thinking of? What is he going to do? So a very simple thing, TAPMI has 23 clubs, right? You have clubs for everything. You have clubs for placements, which is an official committee. Then you have the literary and media committee. Most of the social media handles of TAPMI are actually handled by the existing students. Then we have so many other committees, I can list out. There is a competition committee, which basically whose whole objective is to help students prepare for competitions, identify good competitions, and push them towards competitions. And then there is a hostel committee, this committee, that committee, welfare committee, all types of committees are there, area-wise committees are there. All these 23 committees will actually be established at TAPMI Bangalore for the BBA program as well. So students will be members of these committees, and most of the events and everything will be designed jointly, right? We would have really good interaction between the MBA students and BBA students. The whole idea is to have a cohesive atmosphere where there is fun.
I think peer-to-peer learning is something which is nowadays encouraged a lot, because it makes sure that the kind of knowledge that they are getting is really, I would say, have a lot of weightage.
Yes, certainly. Then we will be hosting a monthly sports meet, and it is not going to be at the college level, right? No, this is something that we have decided that at the university level there will be a monthly sports meet, just to have fun. Okay, students should be really doing fun, right? The campus itself, we are in the process, but we'll soon have a full-fledged gym. And so if you come to Manipal, the Manipal University has a gym which is very big. Okay, it's as big that you have actually a jogging track inside the gymnasium, not outside the gymnasium. Okay, and a similar gym, a 5-story gym, is being set up at Manipal. It's 4-story because this campus is besides the BSF campus, so 4 stories is the max you can have, but this is actually going to come up. So there is going to be a gymnasium, there is going to be football court, there is a basketball courts. There are actually behind the hostel some space for students to play. They can chill out, but lot of group activities will be there, structured, unstructured, whatever is there, and they are going to be busy throughout the day. Right? It's not going to be okay. They will have not much time to while away. That's one thing I can tell you right now.
So not cutthroat competition, but definitely cutthroat.
There is no need for cutthroat competition. We believe, because very simple, we are committed to every student's career growth, and every student's career growth might be quite different from another. It doesn't make sense to have a cutthroat competition anywhere.
That's what. So I think not cutthroat competition, but maybe a cutthroat, rigorous curriculum. We can say that we might have the whole day.
So again, I'm telling you, we will not. It's not cutthroat. Our faculty are committed to handhold everyone, irrespective of who is coming in. Right? We want to give them a career that they can be really proud of. And see, we strongly believe, not only me, my executive director, Professor Madhu Veeraraghavan, he has been for 8 before taking over the responsibility of TAPMI for 22 years. He was with Monash University, Australia, as the head of their finance and accounting department, and their department inducts around 2,500 students every year. So it's like bigger than any college in India. Right, every year 2,500. Understand, 12 to 13,000 students only study accounting and finance there.
Thank God.
So he has in head one thing. We are very clear, right, that it's not about academic rigor, is not about academic discipline or making life miserable. It's about helping a student grow, right? A student, when he becomes an alumni of a school, should reflect back on these times with fondness and not with hatred. He should not remember a faculty and have wrinkles on his forehead, saying that, okay, why the hell did that guy born to come into my class, right? That is actually our philosophy, right?
I like the fact that you actually know what students do talk.
That is necessary, because we are very clear. But please, I would like to tell the students through you, Sukruti, that we will not be compromising on our academic requirements. We will help a student grow to the level that we want, but we'll never bring our level down just to accommodate anyone. That's not acceptable.
And so I think that's how the institute stands out, how the institute has made such a great ranking across. That is how it is. Because otherwise, any other institute, if I say, which is not at all in a level where I can compare it, I personally feel that this is where the difference comes. Because probably sometimes to just accommodate the student, we have to bring our standards a little lower. But this is very nice that to keep both the things at par, probably we are having that standards kept high. We have a bench to achieve. That's fantastic. So students, as I promised, taking up all your questions now, let me start with the first one that, so there's somebody by the name VG. He's asking that since this is a 4-year BBA, will it be recognized in countries like the US, which normally do not recognize 3-year BBAs?
Okay, it is recognized. I would like to proudly say that even before our institute has started, this institute is in existence for 40 years, I should not say it. Even though the branch campus of Bangalore has started, we have already received AACSP, which is an international American accreditation, which is considered one of the top. It is only top 5% B schools in this world, and only around 40 schools in this country have received an AACSB accreditation for their MBA programs. And we are the only 3 schools, one of the 3 schools in this country who have received AACSB accreditation for their undergrad program. So our BBA Honours is already an internationally US accredited program, and hence you can be guaranteed that if you want to pursue higher education in US, there will never be any issue, because we are AACSB accredited. Your admissions are clear on that front.
Perfect. So student, we do have a validation. You can see that. And that's what probably you guys were looking forward for. So yes, the degree will be accepted in the States. There are 2 questions which I would like to integrate and ask. So there, as we know that we might have a couple of students who have taken drop, and when they were in their 11th and 12th, that was the COVID, the pandemic years. So probably the scores are very well affected. So my point is, if I talk about the structure of the entire admission process, probably I understand there are 3 components. One is the 10th and 12th board. Another one is the scores that the exam student need to appear. And third one, I believe, is the PI. Correct.
And so the micro presentation, yes.
And the micro presentation, yeah. So they want to know what will be the weightage of all these 4 things when it comes to selection.
Okay, so like we have already said, for the entrance exams, we are actually looking at a cutoff. We have not decided the cutoff. We'll decide the cutoff only when the results come out and we get the scores from the entrance exam. All these entrance exam schools, we have already spoken to them. So that does not have a weightage in the final selection, right? We are looking at a cutoff, and that's enough for us, right? Your 10th, 12th, and micro presentation and PI certainly scores, but again, I'm telling you, we are not that hung up on all these things. 10th has an higher weightage, okay, unlike others. There is a simple reason. Our program is you can say stream agnostic. Whether you are an arts, you are a science, or you are a commerce grad, you can apply to the BBA program, right? But then commonality is more seen in the 10th level than in the arts, science, or commerce stream level. And that's why there is higher weightage to 10th to the 12th. And then micro presentation and PI is where these are the 4 components which have the weightage. Yeah.
Perfect. So students, I think 2 of you have already answered the question. One, where the student was concerned that I couldn't score well because of the pandemic situation in my pre-boards and boards, and therefore Will it be
So he
considered?
can certainly see, as long as he is satisfied that 60%. We also, the reason we have brought the cutoff, 10th and 12th marks, we are saying 60%. Why are we looking at 60% marks in 10th and 12th? For a very simple reason, we know these students have actually suffered during the pandemic, and it is extremely unfair for us to make, if you really ask me, Sukruti, I mean, nowadays, I don't know whether it's grade inflation or students have seriously become smarter over the one generation that I've been through.
Everybody's scoring well.
Yeah, because I haven't seen across the last first round of interviews that we just took, I haven't come across a single guy who got less than 80%.
I totally
But
buy
that does not matter. Our cutoff is 60. If you have not achieved 60, these are university requirements. So there it becomes difficult to help. But if you have 60% and above and you do really well in your micro presentation and interview, you can cover up. So need not worry about that.
Perfect. So students, you don't have both the questions are answered. I don't know why, but students, we have already discussed about the entire selection criteria. I don't know why this question is being asked again and again, that what is the selection criteria, and not just by one student, different students are asking the same question, that what is the selection criteria. So kids, please, you can go back to the video and have a look. The video will be there on the SuperGrads channel forever. So you can just go back and listen to that. But yeah, I was about to say that we are still going to reiterate it for you, but in case you have missed it, yes, you can go back and listen to us. Sir,
so I'm again telling you, we have 6 entrance exams which we are looking at: IPMAT Indore, IPMAT Ranchi, IPMAT Rohtak, JIPMAT, JEE, and SAT. If you have appeared for any of these exams, you can upload their scores, and then we can that is there. Also, we are just going to look at a cutoff that will be decided based on once we get the scores from these when the exams are conducted and we get the scores. So before that, there is no such thing, and so I would request everyone to apply. Then we have importance for 10th and 12th marks, more importance for the 10th marks, because 2 things: you have it, that's the first thing, because some 12th exams are still going on, but more importantly, everyone's strength is almost similar, the subjects are similar. That's not the case in 12th, but that doesn't mean, so we are expecting 60% at least in 10th and 12th. And then there is a micro presentation and interview. Guys, you will find that micro presentation and interview is fairly easy. Micro presentation topics are already provided on our website, and you will find it that these are not topics where you can actually prepare. 40 interesting topics, very difficult to prepare, right? You will forget one by the time you prepare the 5th one. So that's how the topic is. And so it's basically what you can think on the spot that is important for us. How smart you are important for us, right? We are looking at smart guys. It's a management program. Smartness is important, right? You can see from the host itself what smartness basically means. Right?
Thank you, sir.
And you can actually, and the interview, which is basically aim to understand each other and see whether we fit each other.
Very true. Very true.
It's a 4-year journey and then a lifelong association.
Perfect. So students, I think I have almost picked up a few of the questions are still left, and I am going to pick up. But why I just intervened at this point is that since we were talking about the exams, and there is a student by the name Shaurya, another Shaurya I can see. So clearly mentioned, these are the only 6 exam students. There are no specific exam conducted by TAPMI, because they're asking that is there any exam that TAPMI as an institute conducts for the same?
No, we do not conduct any exam, but there is a Manipal entrance test that is conducted by the university. If someone has appeared for Manipal entrance test already, given that we are part of the university, we will certainly consider that application.
Oh, so students, I think I was wrong in this case, and well, in this case, please make a note that
no, I would like to tell you, we are an autonomous school under the university. Correct. Our application process and admissions process is independent of the university. But given that we are part of the university, if someone is there who has already appeared for the Manipal entrance test and is interested for a TAPMI admission process, they can apply. We will facilitate that. But that's only because we are part of the university.
Perfect. So students, you got another answer that there's one more window. All right. I'll pick up 2 more questions, which I see it a little different. Okay. Is there a possibility if they can submit all the exams and all the scores of the exam and whatever they have got? But I believe why to do that? Probably you'll submit the best. No, why will you submit the lowest? This is my understanding. I don't know why that question is even there, but
the application form is there. These exams are available, and you can fill in on the application form, the application number. We actually get the scores from the schools, but you are also supposed to upload for verification. So yes, we'll consider the best. If someone has decided to spend his 12th holidays giving all types of entrance exams and wants to upload those scores, certainly he is free to do that. He's invited.
I understand that probably 12 years ago, when I was giving my exams, that time we did not have this opportunity where one exam can suffice the need for other colleges. We literally have to give exam for every college. And I don't know why, even a decade later, the students want to do the same. In spite of the fact that we do have this opportunity, that we have some exams which you can get if you clear, of course, and you get a couple of great colleges, one of them definitely being TAPMI. So students, please stop following the old fashioned way of giving every exam possible in the country. The forms are also expensive. To be very honest, you cannot literally go out and roll in all the forms that are there, right? You have to be a little wise in your choice. You have to make sure which you are actually interested in, where your preparation lies, and a lot many other factors I think you should be considering. Because back then, this opportunity was not there. We did not have any common entrance test as such. Likewise, if I talk about today, please utilize this opportunity. What new education policies also endorsed a lot, quite a lot.
Yeah, but
Okay.
interestingly, Sukruti, you just said that 12 years back you had to give exams for everything. I am one of those generations which were very lucky. Our 12th standard score 22 years back was good enough. And my exams got over somewhere on 15th February. And till the 1st of July, I went hitchhiking across the Konkan of Maharashtra. I think today's students really are missing that 4-5 months of holidays where they could do anything, because there is a concept called entrance exams in those days. Your 12th standard scores were enough to go wherever you wanted to.
I personally feel after the inception of CUET, because there's a question in the chat box regarding that. Can I give CUET? What should I do if I want to pursue CUET as well as IPMAT Indore, IPMAT Aptitude Test? So how should I proceed? So definitely you should be joining SuperGrads for the same. I won't miss a chance to tell you that. But yeah, coming back, jokes apart, the students. You have to make a choice. There's no harm in giving both the exams. But if we are telling them that what happened back then, and they're going to definitely miss out on that, I totally buy that thought.
So
sir,
on CUET,
yeah, I was about to ask, what are your thoughts?
CUET is a fantastic decision by the government, but based on what we have experienced in the past, this year, in exceptional cases, we might give importance to CUET, but we have not considered CUET as an exam because we are not sure when we would be able to get the results out. See, correct. And this is purely based on the experience that we had as a university with NEET. When the first time NEET was made compulsory, there were legal challenges to NEET that were happened, and hence actually because of legal challenges, the counseling and the admissions actually got delayed, and that year the medical school could start only in the February of the next year. Okay, because the Supreme Court had to go through so many challenges and all, right? Same happened when JEE was made an compulsory entrance exam for all government colleges, right? If CUET happens on time and those scores are available, we will give the importance, because UGC has requested us to consider CUET, and we respect the government for doing that. But in case the CUET results are getting delayed, like I told you, our commitment to start on 1st September is non-negotiable. We want to give students understanding, and hence this year officially CUET is not part of our exam cohort. Next year, if things go well, we might actually have CUET as one of the exams. Yeah. So students, giving the exam, because it's one of the, I personally feel, doing all my research, that it might turn out to be one of the world's largest examination, given the size of the target crowd. I totally buy the fact that you want to give CUET, you can. But if you're aiming for TAPMI this year, you know the kind of exams that you have to give, you know the kind of preparation that is required when it comes to personal interview, and that is what the actual agenda was. So we are definitely there to orient you, and not just to sell that, okay, you have to join SuperGrads or you have to join TAPMI, because we are academicians for students, and we really want you to make a informed decision in your life, right? So yes, if you want, go ahead with CUET and IPM Aptitude Test both. But if you're really keen on joining TAPMI, an institute with great credentials, probably need to figure out that these are the multiple exams that I should be appearing for, and this should be my vision for the next couple of years. So I think, sir, I have picked up almost all the questions that the students have asked.
Couple of them I did not pick because we have already discussed and cleared in the preceding conversation. So I think that's it for now. And special thanks to you for sparing out a
No,
complete
I
hour.
should actually thank Sukriti, you and SuperGrads for having me there. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very
sir.
much.
Our
It was
pleasure.
great having an interaction with you and the students. And I would also like to request you to please inform all the students that they can actually, if any student or any parent has any doubt, our phone numbers are available in the prospectus. Our prospectus is available on our website. They can
Perfect.
just call me directly and I will answer each and every query.
So what I'll do is for everybody else's students, what I'll do for your convenience is I'll fetch the number. Already you know the address. Okay, the website is the place where you need to go. But I'll fetch the details and I'll post it in the open channel at YouTube. So
Certainly.
everybody will have an access over there. You
Yeah.
guys can call and you can see how approachable Aditya sir has been throughout. So there shouldn't be any aversion or a kind of a phobia that I call that, okay, call lagana chahiye kya? Don't do that. It's a matter of your career for the next almost a decade, as sir also mentioned. So please make sure any doubts, write to them, talk to them, and then make a choice. So that's it for today. Any other queries you have, please post it in the chat box. I'll take it up and I'll mail it personally. That is my promise to you. But in case I have missed on any questions, do write to sir directly as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
All
Thanks,
right.
Sukriti. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. All right. Bye bye. Have a great
Bye.
time.
Thank you.